It's only about a month away until the new school year. Have you decided what you're doing? Here's what we've decided to use for 2025 to 26 school year. Raising neurodivergent kids is messy, beautiful, and a lot. I'm Mary Ellen Yates, and this is Growing Together, Neurodiversity at Home. Let's figure it out together. Okay, let's get started. Language arts. We love Rooted in Language, and so we're going to be continuing at that. For my fifth grader, we're going to be using their other products since we just finished Pinwheels 1 and 2. And for my second grader now, we will be using Pinwheels year 2. We're finishing up level 3. I think there's about 3 or 4 units left. And then we'll be doing unit 4 throughout the rest of the school year. And if we finish, we'll probably move on to something else if we finish in time. But at least finishing up year 2 is our goal for my second grader. Rooted in Language has tons of options, tons of teacher trainings to help you with your language arts needs. They have office hours and they have a lot of products to check out. They're also active on social media to get some answers as well. So highly recommend them for language arts. Now for math. We're going to be sticking with the same math that we used last year. For my second grader, he's going to be doing this is Kate Snow's Math with Confidence, second grade math curriculum. My son has been doing really well with it. She does a lot of mental math and it's very hands-on and interactive, and it's been working well for my 6-year-old who will be almost 7 when we start, because we start at the beginning of August, so he won't be quite 7 yet. But he's already gone through 10 units of this second grade book, so we'll just be continuing on from that. For my older son, he has dyscalculia, and so we are on the slower side with our math. We've done multiplication for years, and then we had to backtrack with even addition and subtraction for this son. He's really fluent with his addition and subtraction now, so now we're working on multiplication. We're using the Math You See Gamma book. What I do, tear out all the pages and put it in a binder, and then put each unit in a sleeve. And then I just print as we need and go from there in case I need to use it for another kid, or if we need to review some things. That's what's been working well for my 11-year-old. So right now we're working on multiplication, and he's been doing fine with 0, 1, 2, 5, 9s, and 10s. Those are easy, but the other ones, I noticed he was struggling some, so we backed up a little bit because I don't want to make the mistake of continuing forward before he's ready. And we're using Multiplication Math Facts That Stick by Kate Snow, which is a short math game, and then a worksheet to build his fluency skills. I'm also going to be using flashcards that I have to continue to practice those math facts, because when you have a kid that has a learning difference and in certain areas, they need a lot more exposure to those things. It's not that they can't do it, but they just need a lot more exposure so it becomes more automatic. The more automatic it becomes, the less cognitive load they're using, and then that will help them further advance. So it's the same thing with dyslexia and language arts. He has to do a lot more repetition of things, and so the same thing with math. But we've really liked Kate Snow's products and Math UC. Okay, so science is my favorite subject. We're trying something different this year. I'm hoping it goes well. So we are trying Real Science for Kids. This is book 1. They have 4 books. This is the textbook. Throughout the textbook, you're going to deal with the different branches of science, which are chemistry, biology, physics, geology, and astronomy. They're short chapters to read, lots of pictures. And so that's what we're going to do this year. It has definitions in the back. And so along with that, she also has these kid books that my kids are going to read themselves. And then it's going to go on our bookshelf that they have access to. I have a bookshelf in the schoolroom that they're not allowed to use until we've used them. And then I put them on the regular bookshelf for them to use as they would like. So we have some books that they're going to be reading too. This is just one of them. And they're very simple books, but it gives them some basic information. I just want them to have a very good foundation in science. If they decide not to go in a field that requires science, that's perfectly fine. I think science is valuable in learning critical thinking skills and just understanding our world in general. And then I made binders for each of the kids where they have these worksheets that go with it. They're kind of worksheets. They have to fill in the blank. They answer questions. They circle. They have different things for each unit they're doing because notebooking has been shown to help with retaining information. The more you're actually writing, and it helps solidify information. So they have these workbooks that they're going to be using when we're going over the chapters in the textbook. And then this year we're going to be finally doing labs. And so I printed off the teacher's guide that has information for the labs. We're going to be sharing these books. I'm going to have the materials, but then they are going to be able to write and they'll probably take turns because I'm not as concerned about them having their own as them being a part of the process. And with my oldest, it's a lot of writing to do it for every subject. And for my youngest, he's still a new learner. And then they also give you a little lesson planning book that I printed off. So math and language arts are every day, they're non negotiable. And then the other days of the week, and usually after those subjects, I try to get in science, history, and geography. So I'll be trying to get science in 2 to 3 days that doesn't take too much time. And so I might have a day that we're reading and then a day that we're doing labs. I'm just going to have to see how I can fit it in because my kids also have therapies starting at 12:30 every day too. So we have to get everything done before then. And we also have some appointments in the mornings. Also for history, I'm using BiblioPlan. This is the teacher's guide. This teacher's guide just has tons and tons and tons of suggestions for resources based on the week and the age. They just have tons and tons and tons. So they have suggestions for what to do, and then they have book lists. And so I noticed we used a curriculum last year and we mostly got it for the audio. And then I noticed my kids were having a hard time retaining the information because the information was very broad. And so I would pull from YouTube and books and whatnot to add to that for them to get a picture of that time period. And so what I like about BiblioPlan is I see that they have all those resources pulled together. So I don't have to do the research and trying to find a good resource. They already have that in one spot. They have tons and tons and tons of resources and they tell you do not use them all. So you're supposed to pick and go from there. So I like that it's in one spot. There's a lot of video options, there's a lot of book options. I've already added all the audiobooks that I could find from their options and onto my Hoopla as a favorite so that I can pick from those for audiobooks in the car because we are in the car a lot. Then I also got a lot of physical books that they recommended, especially ones that I thought would have a lot of visual information because my kids love pictures and they'll go through all that kind of stuff. So we have a lot of physical books, but then we also have a lot of audiobook suggestions. And I'm hoping to even throw in a couple of movies every now and then because they really like movies. So I'm hoping that they'll really enjoy this year. And then this is their actual curriculum book. So I bought the audio version too so that we can look at the book, but then they can also hear the audio. You can see that they have pictures in here as well. And then I also have their timeline book where we'll be adding to a timeline. And they have a map book that I also added that we're going to be doing map work also for geography. We're going to try those pieces out that we already have from BiblioPlan, and I'm going to see how that's going. Last year I had them do journaling, but I'm feeling like with all the extra pieces, we might not do the journaling this year, but I'm just going to kind of play it by ear and see how it's going. But I don't do quizzes for them at this age. I'm just trying to get them to love history and enjoy the stories and have an interest in it. So that's my goal when I'm doing history. But we're doing the medieval days. I think it's from after the death of Christ through, I think, the 1600s. I think that's where it ends. So that's what we're going to be doing. And we're really excited for next year. Also, for art this year, we're going to try Sparketh. I think it's like $25 a month, and you have access to a lot of videos, and they break down skill into a lot of short videos. My 6-year-old is very into drawing, but usually he gets a video and learns how to draw that specific thing. So I'm hoping to expand his art skills by learning more basic information. So we're going to see how Sparketh goes. I'm hoping we'll use it. If we're not using it enough because we're too busy, I'll probably cut that and just keep using free YouTube videos like Artland and Art Hub have some good ones. And then for handicrafts, we're probably still just going to go to Lowe's or Home Depot and do their kid workshops. They get to use hammers and learn how to create projects. My 2 oldest are in occupational therapy, so it really helps with their fine motor skills. And then it's great for my 4-year-old as well. So I hope this helps. Let me know what you're using this year. I'm always checking out curriculums, trying to find the best. Every year something changes, but I look forward to seeing what you're doing this year. Or if you don't know yet, maybe check these suggestions out, and I hope you have a great school year. Oh, and if you want a free visual routine, I have a free principle that you can download. The link's in the description.